Hello traders, it's Steve from the Stock Index Trading Room, and I have a video presentation for you. You asked, we listened, and have been working on this for quite a while, actually, to be honest, off and on, and now have a complete tradable system or strategy for you. For those that like to scalp the ES, that want to be in and out of the market several or many times a day. And we've been working on this off and on for several months and have it ready for you now. I'm going to present that today. I'm going to go ahead and make this legal. Let's get this out of the way. And if you've not read this, please do that. Pause this video presentation now and read this, and then come back and join us. If you've not, if this is the first time looking at our presentation, I'll tell you a little bit. I'm going to talk about 4 or 5 minutes about what we're going to cover. Then we're going to look at some charts. We're going to mark some trades and do some recaps and see how this strategy would have worked both for one day and then for this trading week of the 16th through the 20th. So, scalping the ES is a valid approach to trading. The thing that we know in the Stock Index Trading Room as teaching people to become successful in trading is, look at the second part in parentheses of our first sentence. We can never consistently follow a path we don't believe in. So we encourage our members to identify their beliefs, personalities, their individual beliefs, personalities, and strengths. Trade to this level of belief and awareness, and then grow and improve this by being consistent and become excellent over time to become a master trader. Many traders will choose to look for the longer term benefit in choosing a trade and would like to get in and hold as long as they could. Other, and probably a majority of traders, would prefer a very short-term in and out approach in their achievement of trading success. This in and out method is often referred to as scalping. In this recap, I'm going to show you how in the Stock Index Trading Room we have started scalping the ES on a daily basis. We're going to look at a different structure, well, different size chart, not structure. But to scalp the ES, we're going to use what we call a 2-tick chart, and it's half the size of things that you have, of all of our charts that we have shown in recaps and in our webinars. And in this case, and I'll go over that when we look at a chart, a reversal bar is 4 ticks instead of 8 plus any wick. And a continuation bar is 2 ticks instead of 4 plus any wick attached. So each continuation bar represents 2 ticks, and 2 of these equal a point, and that's our threshold for success in our scalping trades. Entry rules are pretty simple. As you know, the reason that we have highly accurate entries into the market over a long period of time, and that gives us a huge edge over the market, we achieve this. We combine standards away from random to get as close to 100% as we can. Now, to achieve this, our scalping system looks at trap trader oscillator and our smart line, and we'll talk about that in a second, background color, and smart super trend. And we use smart super trend to locate pockets of open zones where there will be little or no resistance for our trades. And this is the key for this whole system in scalping is we need little or no resistance for the market to go in the direction that we've chosen, because often we'll get these signals when the market's really not doing a whole lot. But that's the key. That's the purpose of scalping, is we want to be able to get in and out with a highly probable favorable outcome, and we don't rely on huge market movements to be successful. So let's look and see how we do this in a room. Today, this date we're looking at is Friday the 20th. And as we talked about, our reversal bars here are 4 ticks, and our continuation bars are 2 ticks plus any wick. Our Smart Renko bars are proprietary, and all of the other indicators that we use were developed, coded, tested, traded by World Cup trading champion Rob Mitchell, who for quite a while had the distinction of being the largest Emini trader in the world. So it might be something that we want to look at and pay attention to. So our rules are simply this. We're going to look for trap trader oscillator being undervalued, stretched too far one way, overvalued, stretched too far. You can see here it says it's stretched too far. Here it says it's undervalued in an area that's likely to do that. Or we see this gold line. This is called smart line. We give this to our members. This is an indicator that we own that is very valuable for this type of trading. And what we want to do is we want to find trap trader oscillator in an extreme position. Okay. Or we want to find the market close below this smart line. It's not an EMA. It's got some different properties, but for the sake of this discussion, that's probably, if you need to get your head wrapped around that, that's probably the way you would want to do that. But the way we're gonna do this is that if we get a bar that closes below the smart line for a sell, or closes above the smart line for a buy, even though trap trader oscillator is not in an extreme position, with the other criteria that we need for trade, we're going to take it. Okay. So here we have red bar on a red background. Check. Color on color. Very important for this trade. This closed under our smart line. Check. This has 3 or more ticks of space between this blue and, in this case, this long running hypothetical support. And we have 3 or more ticks. The bigger the larger the open zone we have, the better. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But we want 3 or more ticks. We want some room for this to get in here. And of course, you can see Friday, this is pretty typical of the open on Friday. We sort of wobble around and come down, find a low point, and rally for the rest of the day. And that's a free gift for you that you can trade from now on in the ES. Here we have our first entry, and it goes down. And here we have a green bar, green background printed above smart line. We in the room, we're watching this continuously, and we're talking about this. Here we have a traditional entry. Trap trader oscillator is in an extreme. We have a red bar on a red background. We have room. We call this room to grow. SST is 5 ticks away. And there we go. And again, the threshold for, we count a point as a winning trade. That's our first threshold for initial targeting is 1 point, and we use an 8-tick stop. We'll show you how that looks in just a minute. So we continue on. Here we have a winner, you know, however you would want to manage that. But that's a point, that's a point, that's a point. Here we have a trade that didn't work. Just didn't work. We have a couple of bars here caught by our smart line. They don't have room to grow. This one has room to grow, but it's on a red background. This is not as good as a result over time as what we're going to show you, so we don't consider those for this strategy. Here we have a pattern that we like, a weak Batman. but trap trader oscillator's not an extreme, and we're above the 20 line. So while that turned out to be, that would have won, it's not a signal for this. We're not a one-trick pony, but that's not a signal for this. Here we have a situation, we have a green bar, green background, trap trader oscillator is touching the line, which is good enough. We have this big open zone. Now I marked this in the room. I remember I marked this in the room as a strong Batman, but we had our daily target set at 92.50. I'm sorry, 29.50, not 92, 29.50. And I often complain that I almost never get the top tick. The day before, we had a really nice target about 8 points away. When we stated it, it went up plus 4 or 5 ticks. So we were fortunate. We were lucky enough to get the top tick on Friday for our room target. So not only is that the most likely place the market's going to reverse after it reaches a target, but we have a signal, trap trader oscillator in an extreme. Red bar on a red background with all of this, see all of this big open zone here. That's almost a forecasting telling me we've got this coming. We've got a big down move coming. When we get this much space, very rarely is there not substantial follow through with that. So here we have another entry. We're not in an extreme with trap trader oscillator, but we're caught by the 20 smart line set at 20, caught at the smart line, prints under with 3 or more ticks of space. So there's another winner. And I think that's it. We didn't get a lot of signals. This will generate on an average of 12 to 15 signals a day. We did not average that this whole week. I'm going to show you a weekly recap in a minute. And now I just want to take a second. It won't take long. We're going to mark this. And okay, Steve, how did this do? And if this is the first time you've watched, we have a new tool that we use. It's called Trade Markers. And I'm just going to show you, we would mark this anywhere on this bar as a sell. We're going to mark this anywhere on this bar as a buy. I didn't hit it. Are you kidding me? Sure I did. And there's a sell. And we got to have a loser each day, right? There's that loser. And there's the buy we marked in the room. And then here's a sell. And then here's the sell caught by the 20 line. And that's all the signals that we had. So we're going to open up our trade marker summary. We had 6 signals, okay, and we had 5 that won. We had 1 that lost. We've played around with all of these numbers. This was designed by one of the clients of the oil trading room to match Ninja's ATM strategy of 1, 2, 3, and then you can set. We don't have break-even stops and trailing stops. You can do that. Sometimes we'll enhance things, sometimes it won't. But what we are showing the members that traded this, trading 1 lot for 4 ticks, it generated $169 in profit. That's no big deal. It's better than a sharp stick in your eye. A good friend of mine, Andy Andrews, who now is an author, a speaker, and an author, Andy Andrews, would say, it's better than a sharp stick in your eye, and I agree with Andy. Our profit factor is really high. We are 3 times more likely to take a winning signal than a losing signal. Expectancy is not very high, in my opinion, but that's up to you. What this means is that every time we print, we would expect $30 in profit. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Every time it printed, that's what we would expect. For people that, we could represent anything, right? I mean, we could put 50 in here in a hypothetical account and show tens of thousands of dollars every day. That's misleading. But one of the things people ask us to do, well, what if we scaled this a little bit? What if we went 4, 6, and 8? You know, this of course won't change. For 6 ticks, we had a 71% win, and this is just spot on. For a long period of time, this is in low 70s. And then for 2 full points or 8 ticks, it was 71, and that's a little high. For this day, that's a little bit high. But we got our profit factor up to $583 after commission. And we have our expectancy at $96. That means every time one of these prints, that's what we're expecting for our account to grow. So pretty good numbers here. Now, not everybody can do this, and we understand this. Not everybody. Some people will have to grow an account and get it to the point. But with an 86% win rate and 3-to-1, 300%, 3 times more likely to be profitable than unprofitable every time you would have traded this on Friday, wouldn't be, it might be doable to grow an account. Now we're going to look at the week. I went ahead and marked this. We're not going to mark this in front of you. I did this for the week. Let me talk about this for a second. These signals that I'm showing you, and we're showing you for the week, this number just hovers right around 85%. We may never get another one of these that win. Okay, starting early next week, starting trading week next week, we may never have another one of these signals that win. We may never have one that lose, but we've been doing this a while. This number is pretty consistent. It's 86%. It's pretty consistent. But we're not representing that if you start doing this, this is what's going to happen. We can't do that. Nobody knows the future. All we can say is that for this week, for the week of the 16th through the 20th, this strategy generated $937 in profit with 37 trades, a profit factor of 320% reward to risk. And expectancy is $30. Every time one of these prints, it would have generated, win, lose, or draw, it would have generated $30. We can expand this to our scale. The numbers will be more impressive, right? So we get to 73, which is right about exactly where this number is. And 62 is a little low. This number is normally in the upper 60s, 67 or 8. We get our profit factor down some. That's okay. It's still over 2. We need to hold this over 2. Our expectancy is huge at $82. What does that mean? Every time one of these prints, that's what we expect. Just trading it as it is. So I guess that's it. That's the recap for the week. And we'll go back to the initial, our expectation is about 85%. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to take the time to do that. When we get a signal, see, if this, let me find, I don't know. Yeah, here's one, this red bar that's caught by the smart line. The win percentage for this is higher than this number as we track it. We don't get a lot of these. For the week, we only had 10 out of 37. So that was 1 in 3. So 25 or so. I'm going to tell you, this is about 25% of our trades would be categorized that would manifest under. When we get both, when we get a TTOX dot and this, the number is it's hard to believe how accurate it is. We only get 4 or 5 of those a week, so it just doesn't trade enough. Okay. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Let's look at this. This is for the week, right? This is a daily net profit that this strategy generated for this week. These numbers, normally what we get is that we'll get one of these that's really high. We didn't have a very vibrant week trading. This not unusual to have a small red day during the week. We've had some weeks when we were 5 for 5. But an 85% strategy is going to generate probably 4 days, between 4 and 5 days, statistically, between 4 and 5 days a month, that it doesn't generate profit. The other 17 months or so, it would have. Now, again, this is historic. This is not based on what we're expecting for the future, because nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. We can even do this for you. For 30-minute periods, the first 30-minute period, 9:30 to 10, 10 to 10:30, 10:30 to 11. We can look for the week. What's the best time of the day to trade the ES? And when we start to do this long enough, more than just a week, we start to see patterns that we find incredibly powerful that we use in the room. So I'll get back to this. This was for the week trading one lot, 8 tick stop, 4 tick profit, 37 trades, 32 winners, 5 losers, for $937 of profit for the week. Whoops. So, what do you do with that? We're following this in the room. We have a lot of members that have started trading this and are loving it. It's fun. It's real simple. You can qualify it other ways if you'd like. We have some members that use other things to qualify it. That's awesome. What we show is just a simple signal and a strategy, because we find over a long period of time that's what works best. If you have any questions, you could go to our website, stuckindextradingroom.com, watch it. If you're ready to jump on board and start capturing some of these trades with us, watch the video to the end. There's a discount code for a coupon code at the end of that for a really nice discount. This is going to last at least till the end of the year. If you have questions, you can always email me at support@stuckindextradingroom.com. And we don't monitor that real close on the weekends, but during the week, we'll get back to you rather quickly. So this was a daily recap Friday, December the 20th, and then a weekly recap for December the 16th through the 20th. We're calling this the 2-tick terror. We call this a 2-tick chart, because continuations are 2 ticks. And people say, well, you've got Batmans and TTOX and all this other stuff. Why do you name everything? And that's a good question, and here's why. So we could say, okay, we've got a trap trader oscillator in an extreme position with a red bar on a red background, and S Smart Super Trend has 5 to, and yeah, the trade's over. By the time we get it called, the trade's over. We've missed the chance to be profitable. So it's just like, hey, and we're continually watching this in a room. Say, hey, we're overdone. A red bar, we've got room to grow. Red bar on a red background here would be a signal, and it prints, you get an uptick to get filled, and away you go. So that's it. Real simple strategy, fun to trade. Normally it averages 10 or 12 trades a day. We've had days that the market's moved a lot, that there were, 30 or so. And then, we've had days when we've had as little as 6 or 7 trades from this system when the market just didn't move at all. But on behalf of Rob, I'm Steve from the Stock Index Trading Room. And I think it's appropriate. Merry Christmas if that's what you celebrate. Happy holidays if not. We wish nothing but the best for you during the special time of year. And also, Hoping next year is your best year ever in trading. We'd love for you to come join us and take advantage of this. Let us know how we can help you reach your trading goals.